What is going on, guys? This is your boy Eisen with the Homeostasis Lifestyle channel. I found two clip online that I found like very interesting that kind of speak on the female dynamic between men and women when it comes to the black community and some of the stuff that can happen when our women don't have fathers in the home. So without further ado, let's transition to the first clip, okay?
So black girls tend to hit puberty earlier than white girls. It's a reliable finding. And then fatherless girls tend to hit puberty earlier than girls with fathers. And the difference there is about a year. Wow. No one knows why. It's a very complicated problem. And what that means is, so imagine that you're a black girl without a father. Now you're going to hit puberty, say around the age of 9 or 10, something like that. And that might mean that by the time you're 11, you look 17. Now, there's two consequences of that. One is you're a lot more physically intimidating if you get upset. Okay. And number two, you're a lot more likely to be held to a high standard of behavior. Like imagine an 11-year-old who looks 9 compared to an 11-year-old who looks 17. Like at first glance, who are you going to demand more of?
Yes. So this is something that we already know that the single parent rate, right? And we can therefore assume that there's a lot of absentee fathers. It can be for a different reason. Jail, they don't want to be there, or the mother make it very difficult for the father to be present. So that's a different argument, and we can talk about this some other time. However, according to this, and I read some of the report myself, is that they found out that black girls hit puberty early compared to other races. And on top of that, the fact that they don't have a father in the home makes it also accumulate onto that as well. So now you have a child that's 9, 10, 11, and just like a span of 1 to 2 years, look like she's like 17 to 20 years old. Kind of think about it. Think about it for a second, how when you were a teenager, how did it make you feel? Confused, angry. You did not like your body, right? You do not have a father in the home to even love you the way that you are, to give you the love that you never experienced from a man. Your father is going to be your first man, and he's the only man on this planet that will love you without wanting anything from you. Okay, so not having that rapport, can be devastating to a young girl. Not all, but for most girls out there, or black girls out there, they don't get to experience that kind of feeling. Being daddy's little girl, daddy little princess, they don't get that. Now you start having a different type of physique where you're being treated differently like an adult. You have a different set of expectation from me at that point. And then now, on top of it, you start being more appealing to the other sex. Young boys are looking at you, older men are looking at you, and you don't even understand how to respond to those advances. Again, you do not have a male figure in your home to teach you about this thing and for you to differentiate the positive side of masculinity. And we already know the obesity rate in the black community because of our diet, and those little girls tends to be overweight. And we know how some most black women physique are. Everything goes to the thigh and the ass and the boob, and they look like curvaceous, right? It looks good, but they're kids. Now, a young child like this is gonna go to social media to find answers about certain things, go online, and then they will be exposed to a plethora of videos about ass shaking, or they'll see the girl that put all her physique out get the most like, the booty shaking get the most like, and all they see on TV and social media is they're Megan Thee Stallion. She's great. All the rappers or talking about bitches and hoes, and unfortunately, there is no there's nothing out there to give her a positive role model for her to follow.
Women on average experience more negative emotion than men. So
Really?
75% of divorces are initiated by women, and women are more unhappy than men. And so they're more prone to depression, and they're more prone to anxiety disorders. They're more prone to suicide attempts, although men commit suicide more often because they use guns, because men tend to be more violent even towards themselves. So women are higher negative emotion. And so why? Well, it kicks in at puberty. And so why would women become more sensitive to threat at puberty? They're at a physical disadvantage. Because boys and girls can wrestle and fight, but men and women can't. So men are way stronger, especially in the upper body. And so women hit men more than the reverse by a lot. So you might say, well, are women or men more violent? Well, if it's just blows struck, women win. But if it's blows that land, right,
that leave damage,
right, exactly. Women get comparatively weaker physically, so the world's more dangerous. Then they're more vulnerable sexually. Then they have to take care of infants. So they're tilted towards more threat detection. Women on average.
Now, going back what he just said, right? Now, if you take like everything we said before and you transition that into adulthood or younger years, like early 20s, right? Where most women tend to get the most sexual attention in their life because that's their peak. That is their peak. Now you get like a lifetime of absentee, of not having a positive role model in their life. You get a lifetime of them being objectified sexually early on. Okay. And now you get also a lifetime of them sexually objectifying themselves. And they think they are not think, but how can I say? Yes, they feel like that's what they have to do to get male attention because they see that what's work online and what the other girls are doing and what the other artists, social media persona are doing to get attention. Therefore, they do the same thing. And going into college doesn't make things any better because of the propaganda they're being fed to, right? Strong, independent, don't need no man, and they got just wrong with that. But they never had a father in the home to tell them, daughter, yes, you need a man. Yes, you need a man for a family. Yes, you need a man for protection. Yes, you need a man for provision. Yes, you need a man for structure. And they do not realize this, unfortunately, until it's too late, either later down in life or after they got 2 or 3 kids. And then Jordan Peterson was saying something about like, female, or they are more stressed on average because they have to be more alert about like threat detection. As a man, although I am alert when I go out, but I'm not alert to the same level as a woman, right? So now she has this body. She doesn't trust men. She has to act masculine. Now that is not an excuse for her behavior, for some of the stuff that she's doing it and saying. But all I'm saying is that I think that as black men, these are our women. And I think that we should give them a little bit of understanding and grace. That's it. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that we have to go out there and be captain save the hoe. That is not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that if you're about fixing the black community, not back fixing the black community, but if you're about pro-black, okay, let's just say that the best thing that you can do is to find a black woman that is willing to get on your program and move on. Have black babies, create families, because that's how we can win. That's how we become better. That's how we can create everything that we want. The Latino and the Hispanic people, when they come here, they have nothing. And how many Polo Tropical you see out there? How many like Hispanic theme like store that you see? But because that they have something stronger than anything, they have family. Family, and that's what we need. We don't need reparation. We don't need any of this other pro-black nonsense. We just need to get with each other, masculine with the feminine, and make magic together, guys. That's it for the video, and I'll see you guys later. Like, share, and subscribe to the video, guys. Thank you.
Artlist.io